You are what you eat, and I spent a tremendous amount of time in my training and to this day studying and looking at the old masters. I grew up always wanting to be involved as an artist in some way, shape, or form. It started when I was a young child, wanting to be a cartoonist. That evolved to an illustrator, and then finally having the guts to go what I really wanted to do, which was the fine art route. I'm fortunate to have a tremendous amount of training. I went to design school in Chicago, and I received my formal academic training in painting and drawing at a small atelier, the School of Representational Art in Chicago. My training is as a figurative painter. I learned to draw and to paint things in a representational manner. And more specifically, my training was in painting the figure. So when I got out of school, one of the first things that I did was I did a lot of portrait work. I did some figure paintings, but mostly portrait. I also was doing some still life. And with time, it seems that I kind of transitioned out of working with the figure and concentrated more on still life. And then in 1995, I started painting cows. That's the first cow painting that I did. Since moving up here, the cow has kind of taken over as my subject matter. Other animals as well, but primarily cows. Humans have a very interesting relationship with cattle. In some cultures, it's sacred. We derive milk, leather, butter, cheese, all these things. Physically, from a formal standpoint, I think that they are beautiful animals in their geometry and their form. They have a very close-cut coat, so you can see that anatomy. You look back in art history at some of the painters that I really like that painted the subject matter that I'm doing right now, cows in landscape. Albert Cuyp, Dutch 17th century. Paulus Potter, 17th century, Dutch painter as well. If you look at their paintings, they very much could be set in Door County. Very low horizon line, big sky, cattle throughout. So I think that, again, you are what you eat, and having seen those paintings in the past, the combination of that with where I live and where I work every day influences what I do. I still do still life work, not as much as I used to do, and I still paint the figure, not as much as I used to do. As you can see in the studio here, it's mostly cows. My awareness of Door County and my desire to live in a place like Door County happened at two different times. It started back in 1985, and I had this notion that what I would like to do from a living standpoint would be to live in a barn in a rural area and have my studio in the barn and my living quarters in the barn. But being a city kid, being from Chicago, I had no idea how to facilitate that. An artist friend of mine in Chicago suggested that I come up and introduce myself to an artist up here named Jim Ingwerson. I had never been to Door County before. So it was, I believe it was in September of 1995, and I came up here to visit Jim. He kind of showed me around, and that reignited the fire to this lifestyle. I was struck by the creative possibilities that existed up here, not just through what I saw, but through the people that I met. It was a real magnet, and it really confirmed and made clear to me, what you were thinking 10 years ago, this is the place. Right now I'm painting towards two things. I'm a featured artist at Edgewood Orchard, and then I have a one-person exhibition titled Yard. Beyond that, I'm constantly making sketches, doing filling sketchbooks and getting ready for the next thing. Probably once I deliver the show, I will start the very next day going through the sketchbooks and starting to flush out my next body of work.